This is The Brigand Children, Book 2 of the Club Lavender Duet by Lainey Delaroque. The final Part 8, Chapters 36 to 40. For previous chapters or to start from the beginning, navigate to the playlist titled The Brigand Children on this channel, or by clicking the card on the right. Don't forget to adjust the speed of this video to match your comfortable listening preference. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel to help me produce more free audiobook stories for you. Happy listening.
Chapter 36. Less than 10 minutes later, we are all gathered near the second-floor stairs. Tony is long gone. Tanya, Bev, and Lizzie are dressed in black lingerie with small bags where they hide their weapons. I warned them not to take anything that can be used to maim them, so they have a selection of tasers and pepper sprays. Matthias is already holding one of his tranquilizer syringes. There's one in Hanako's hand as well.
Connor is tying one of my friends, so he won't look for us anytime soon,
she says. Good. We need to get to the staff corridor, I say, and go. Everyone follows, a somber mood settling between us. We're not going into an unexpected fight. One way or another, today will be the end of our feud with Penelope. It will be a resolution to the Moon Garden owner problem and a night of closure in many ways for anyone still standing. A loose branch of wisteria almost hits me in the face when we descend the stairs. The smell of the place makes my head spin, but we press on. The lounge no longer plays quiet music. An EDM song is blasting, resonating in my whole body. This place has good soundproofing. Good for people's privacy as they scream from pleasure. Bad for those whose cries for help will drown between the walls. My long, confident strides come to a halt. Where am I going? I look around. The green of the moon garden spread where my eyes can see like a garden maze. Yellow and white roses on every wall, moving spotlights in muted colors, but no stairs to the dungeon. No pathway to the main entrance. My eyes dart from side to side.
This way.
Sophie grabs my wrist and drags me forward like I'm a little child. Her tiny flowing dress, sparkling in the lights, is my beacon to follow. I don't want her in front of me, like a human shield, particularly when she's the only one of us without any weapons. I step next to her. It turns out I was a few steps away from the hole in the wall leading downstairs. But it has an arch of red tulips, making it foreign to the image I have in my memories. Sophie is unfazed. She enters like she owns the floor. Maybe she will soon. We move past the dungeon, ignoring people's laughter and yelps as kink scenes take place all around us. The door to the staff corridor is the same color as the wall, a dull, dark gray. There's a small sign that stops guests from entering, and that's it. I pull Sophie back and try the handle. It's locked. Didn't your friend just pass through here? My voice is laced with irritation. She shrugs.
Doesn't matter. He knows what I can do. Cover me.
We crowd the door, shielding Sophie from the others completely. She pulls a lockpick from her bracer and works her magic on the lock. Then she presses the handle, and it opens easily, muted light seeping from the crease. I go in first, I say. Then Aisha and Matthias. After that, it doesn't matter, but make sure Sophie is in the middle. Does anyone have anything to give her to protect herself?
Here.
Tanya pushes a small pepper spray into Sophie's hands. Sophie nods. We shuffle in as a line of soldiers, quiet and ready. When the door closes behind us, the lock clicks into place. There's no going back. The corridor has cheap bad lighting and nothing noteworthy on the floor, walls or ceiling. The noise from the dungeon and the lounge upstairs is barely audible. We step forward, toward a darkness which I know is a turn to the right. I grip my knuckle dusters and put my hands in front of me, ready to knock out anyone who crosses our path. As we turn, there's a patch of blinding light from an open door. I consider switching weapons when the voices move, and I'm robbed of the time to pull the gun out. 3 men come out and instantly freeze. They're not expecting to find us here. It seems Tony hasn't betrayed us. All hell breaks loose. I attack the one closest to me, then a swathe of bodies rushes from behind me like a tidal wave. In seconds, the fight is over. Matthias has used a tranquilizer on one of them, Another is stunned on the floor from one of the women's tasers. There's drool coming out of his mouth, but he's breathing. The last one is a crumpled heap at my feet. A powerful blow to the side of his head took him out fast and easy. Hana rummages in a bag I hadn't noticed and pulls out a few lengths of rope. I take one to start tying the goons up, but Tanya puts a hand on my arm.
Go, we'll deal with this. Take Sophie and Matthias with you.
I nod and hand her the rope. Matthias leaves another tranquilizer with Lizzie, just in case. She has an expression of intense concentration as she watches the fallen jesters. I don't envy them if they wake up. We don't make it too far in, and after another turn we nearly collide with a mountain of a man. This must be the guy Tony warned us about. Matthias attacks before I can stop him, adrenaline probably fueling his bravery. The man slaps him, throwing him to the ground. "Stay back," I hiss to Sophie as I see red and lunge forward. My brass knuckles connect to his chin, and his head whips to his side. It doesn't even unbalance him. He is at least a head taller than me, so buff that he makes me look lean and Matthias like a stick. Toppling him will be a team effort. He swings and I dodge, stepping toward Matthias. "You okay?" I pull him behind us by his vest. His nose is bleeding from both nostrils. There should be a rule against hitting doctors. My opponent waits for us to sort ourselves out like a mindless golem. He doesn't look angry. "Can you let us through? We don't have any business with you. It will be better for us all if he just leaves." He doesn't, of course.
"No can do."
His voice booms in the hallway. "Look for an opening and don't get hit," I say to both Sophie and Matthias without breaking eye contact with the golem. Then, with no warning left to give, I unleash my fury. My opponent's hits are clumsy, wide swings, half-body twists, and big steps forward. I can see all his attacks seconds before they reach me. I evade left and right, feeling like a panther. I've always been the biggest fighter in a room. This is a welcome change. I navigate behind him and place a well-aimed hit to his kidneys. He yelps like a puppy. I descend on him again, my blows as always directed to weak spots. This angers him, and he abandons his form, flailing around like a madman. One swing catches my ear, twisting my head to one side. The pain in my neck from a week ago makes an appearance, sharp and sudden. My eyes water, but I stay on my feet.
Damien!
I duck and Sophie sprays the pepper spray above my head. But she's too short and she gets his mouth, not his eyes. The giant coughs and changes targets. "No!" I knee him in the balls, counting that he will bend over and give an opportunity for Sophie to fall farther back. My underhanded blow doesn't work. My opponent's face turns red, and a vein bulges on his forehead. From all that he's done so far, this involuntary reaction, this manifestation of his anger, frightens me the most. The next time he swings, his blow is aimed at me again. He's faster than my divided attention. He catches the side of my body, right where my bruised ribs are healing. I groan as I crumple to the floor. I know I should be paying attention to my fight, but my eyes have to keep track of Sophie and Matthias, making sure they don't get hurt. The giant punishes my lack of commitment to the fight by kicking me in the stomach. All air leaves my body on its own accord, and I gasp, an arm reaching helplessly towards Sophie. Matthias is closing in now, a syringe in his hand. Too obvious. Are we really going to lose 3 versus 1? No way in f***ing hell. I need to get to Penelope and deal with her. As I'm balled up, I reach into my boot. When the giant's next kick connects with my body, I sink the small blade into his shin with all my power. He finally kneels in pain. I take it out and stab him again, blind rage directing my hand. Ignoring the blood making the handle of the blade slippery, I tackle him and get on top of his chest. He thrashes about, almost making me dismount him. He stops abruptly when I press the knife to his neck. "Now, Matthias." Everything hurts, but I get those 2 words out. Matthias plunges the syringe into the giant's neck. The seconds stretch as I watch his eyes glaze over. My hand hurts from gripping the knife. When he's finally out of it, I clamber up.
"I'll stay to tie him up. The girls should be done with the others. We need a lot of rope for this one. How is he so big?"
Matthias looks flustered, his face bloody. At least his nose is still straight.
Let's go.
Sophie says as she steps over the deactivated golem. There's a long corridor ahead of us, and we walk fast, anticipation propelling our steps.
Give me the gun.
Sophie throws the pepper spray to the floor, and I stop to pick it up.
I can't use that thing. The gun at least looks threatening.
Can you shoot? It can be used against you.
I'm not Tanya.
She outstretches her arm.
I know how to use it, not that I will.
Will we be safe with it in her hands? I have my knuckle dusters. There's no space in my hands for a gun, and no desire in my head to hold it. The safety stays on at all times. I hand her the gun. She nods and we move forward. I can already see a door. I bet the little golden plaque in the middle will read, Office. Wait. I take her arm and pull her toward me. What were you going to promise me before Tony barged in? Her expression softens.
We were talking about the future. Whatever happens, I can promise you one thing. I will never leave without saying goodbye, without warning. I did that once, and the unspoken words are still lodged in my throat.
Oh. The vowel is bitter in my mouth. What had I expected? Big words of love? A grand promise of everlasting devotion? That's not realistic.
It doesn't mean I'm leaving.
She touches my face, her fingers saying something that I don't know if she can express with words. I swallow the insecurity that rises in my stomach. This is another maybe. Another promise that buys her time. But it at least means that I will get to speak to her when things calm down, and I will tell her all the ways I can meet her halfway. She can have the danger, and I can have the peace. I can have the club, and she can have the gang. Keep your promise no matter what. I lean for a kiss that somehow feels like it's my last. Then we're on the move again, and the door to the office is in front of us. I can hear voices from inside. Familiar voices. I try the handle, a golden swirl that slips in my sweaty palms. It's locked. The voices stop. Sophie moves to lockpick her way in, but I shake my head. I've had enough of being quiet and reasonable today. I step back and lift my leg. One well-placed kick, and the door almost flies off its hinges. Penelope and Tony are inside. She lifts up, her hands on the massive oak desk in the middle. Her eyes are wide, her mouth gaping. Tony's face remains set, like he's wearing a mask of politeness.
You!
She hisses.
Joey!
That must be the golem guarding the entrance to her lair.
He's not coming.
Sophie shuffles in, her gun trained on Penelope. I close the door behind us. It's flimsy in my grip, but I manage to lodge it in the doorframe. This is it. Chapter 37. Penelope is different from the last time I saw her. Gone is her cocky attitude. There are dark circles under her eyes. Her tanned skin is stretched over her skull like a sheet. She looks fine overall, but something in the pinch of her lips tells me she has lost the grip on her life. She's wearing a gray business suit and an elaborate diamond necklace under the collar of her white shirt. Tony shifts from one foot to the other when we enter, his gun pointed at us. If he's betraying Penelope, it hasn't happened yet. She swallows when her eyes slip to my right hand. It's bloody, the knife still clutched in my fingers. She probably thinks I've come to kill her. She probably doesn't want to die. It's over, Penelope. My voice is gentle, though I don't know why. Seeing her here, her knuckles white from gripping the desk, drains my anger. My fury for all that she's done to me evaporates. Extreme tiredness replaces it. I want to throw my arms in the air and walk out. It's like my soul was a tight coil, wrapping itself tighter and tighter with each passing year. And now it is unraveling, leaving a tangled mess inside me.
You're right,
She says the way I know means that I'm wrong.
Everyone abandoned you.
Sophie says. Penelope cocks a brow in her direction.
Adrian. You're like a weed in a perfectly good garden. Why are you even here?
You hurt me too, remember? Forced me to perform against my will. Gave me to Brad.
Sophie raises the gun and points it at Penelope.
Surrender.
I look at Tony. A shadow passes across his face and my heart leaps, the hairs at the nape of my neck standing up. Is he a jester or a brigand? My flimsy trust in him rattles.
To you? To the police? What's the point? I will only go to jail for life.
So you know you did wrong. My voice comes out like a deep whisper. I take a step closer. I don't want to hit her, but I will if she tries to escape. One more step, and I will be able to hold her down until Aisha arrives to read her the rights. If Tony doesn't shoot me, of course.
I was too lenient with my underlings.
Penelope replies, making me feel stupid for believing she would acknowledge all the hurt that she has caused.
If I'm going to go to jail anyway, what's another murder charge on my list?
Before I can register the meaning of her words, she pulls out a gun. It looks identical to the one Tanya had, the one in Sophie's hands. My fingers tighten on the knife, making it warm and slick with sweat and blood. A realization hits me then. I don't want to kill her. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I just want her tucked away neatly, like my father. We all eye each other, weapons in hand. When my gaze meets Tony's, I make an expression with which I try to convey that it's the right time for him to point his gun somewhere else. He doesn't move.
That gun?
Penelope narrows her eyes.
It's Val's gun. Why do you have it? Where is she?
I don't know.
Sophie replies.
But you know, Valerie was the one who let me go after that wretched party. She is the one who set me on the path to destroy you. I used the money she gave me to destroy everything. Do you have any idea how many lives you've ruined? And for what? You're all alone in the end.
I'm not alone.
Penelope's response is a shriek.
I have Alan.
Who's Alan?
Sophie's voice is even. Her trust in Tony is unwavering, despite his gun still pointing in our direction. I focus on his weapon. The safety is off. Out of all the guns in this room at this very moment, his is the only one that can fire. The one that can kill. Why? If he means to go through with his betrayal? My shallow breaths are the only movement in my body. Hot and cold flashes warn me that panic is only a few blinks away. For the second time tonight, I'm held at gunpoint by him. My unraveled coil of exhaustion springs back up in place. My muscles quiver with adrenaline. In a moment shorter than a blink, two things happen at once. Someone opens the door, startling me. It must have startled one of the others too, because I hear a gunshot and sit on the floor after, dazed. I don't feel any pain, but the fear, the panic, it's all there within me. I hate guns. I'm not used to their cold power, and I don't want to. I turn my head to see who came into the room. It's Matthias, his expression grave and menacing, emphasized by the colors blooming under his eyes and on his cheek. I need to de-escalate this before someone gets killed. My thoughts fade in the background when a buzz-like feeling starts at the top of my arm. It's annoying, so I scratch it. The fabric under my fingers is wet. I realize what has happened at the same time as Matthias does. He falls to his knees, pressing a hand against my now burning upper arm.
You shot him.
He screeches to Penelope and Tony. Sophie's face is frozen in shock. I pull him to me. Are the others coming? I whisper. He nods. I continue. Press the button on your pager and hold. Each word takes too long to come out. The pain spreads from my arm to my shoulder and to my ribs like poison. My stomach dips as my body's chemical balance shifts from attack to defense. It must have been Tony. I look at him, standing in the same position as before like a statue. Penelope next to him shakes. Maybe it was her then. The office blurs when I move my gaze between them both.
Why?
Matthias's eyes dart around the room. He must think I'm delirious. Just do it. When his hand lets go of my arm, it creates a wet, squishy sound which makes me retch. It takes immense effort to look around, to search for the one who shot me.
You killed Valerie, didn't you?
Penelope pushes the gun in Sophie's direction. The safety is off, and I know it then. It was her. She can't stop causing me pain, even now. Her shrill voice grates on my ears.
None of this is my fault. You took Val away from me. And where did you hide Thomas?
The tension in the room is so thick I'm afraid someone's nerves won't hold, and there will be another shooting. Thomas is safe, I managed to say through labored breaths.
I called his school. I asked them where he was staying, but they wouldn't tell me. He is mine. I birthed him. Why won't they tell me?
Penelope is rambling now, her gaze circling the office like she's looking for understanding. She won't find it in me or Sophie.
So I had people follow him.
How dare you?
Sophie readjusts her grip on the gun. I have to admire her determination not to come check on me. She's standing strong against our enemy. I try my hardest to focus on her features, her now messy hair, the little costume that she's wearing like armor, her endlessly dark eyes like a demon's in her contacts.
I'm his mother.
You weren't for most of his life, I whisper.
I did my best.
She shouts it so desperately, I would have believed her if not for the past 6 years. Knowing that she might have sent people to Hannah's place makes me extra proud of the fact that Thomas and Melanie are hidden in the home of an old policeman, so unrelated to me that she wouldn't even consider it. They're safe. The room starts to disappear around the edges of my vision, when suddenly the world goes dark, as if I've gone blind. I intake a sharp breath. Luna have fiddled with the Moon Garden's controls. I must get up and disarm Penelope. In the pitch black, I scramble to my feet and take a step toward where the desk should be.
Damien!
Sophie's voice cuts through my pained efforts.
What's happening?
I didn't have time to let her know this part of the plan. Shit. Not wanting to freak her out, I outstretch my arm and put my hand on her. It's a shoulder or an upper arm. But my action does nothing to reassure her. She jumps from my touch. All hell breaks loose. A blinding light. A noise that makes my ears pop. A ringing in my head. A feeling of weightlessness mixed with burning pain. Have I been shot again? I imagine the moon shining downstairs, through the hole in the ceiling. I imagine Sophie there, bathing in the moonlight, happy and free. Then I drown in darkness as the ground rises to meet me.
The Jester Queen. Nothing extraordinary happens in Penelope Wilson Gray's brain when she falls to the floor. It's like she's fallen off a cliff, and there's the incoming feeling of imminent impact. She lies on the ground, staring at the ceiling. In the darkness, she sees nothing. The sounds around her are too loud, then too quiet, then deafening again. She gurgles out a few words of protest. Her life doesn't pass in front of her eyes. She doesn't even realize she is dying. She misses Alan's soft, smooth skin and his golden curls. She tries to picture his face, but the image blurs in front of her eyes as if it's been painted on water. Oddly, Penelope recalls her late mother. For more than 20 years, she has pushed memories to the back of her head, unwilling to face her mother's disapproving, wrinkled face. Yet now, with an upsetting clarity, Penelope remembers the final words her mother said to her. Not said, hissed. You're a monster child, and you'll be a monster woman. No one will love you. Even your sister is better than you. You'll hate yourself like I hate you. You will see. Penelope's mother killed herself not long after. Valerie had bawled her eyes out, and Penelope was overjoyed. She was finally free. Now she turns her head to one side and sees a mirage of Thomas. His body is glowing in the darkness, like he is a ghost haunting her very existence. His hands cover his mouth. He might be crying. Penelope hopes he is. She looks at how much he resembles his father and how little there is of her. How he too doesn't love her. The hours pushing him out of her were pointless after all. The agony of childbirth, the pain of breastfeeding. Everything she gave the little parasite was pointless. As Penelope Wilson Gray's eyes close for the last time, she doesn't hate herself. She hates her son, her not ex-husband, and all who stand by him. She hates everyone. She deserved better.
Chapter 38. The light brings me back. The reality of what happened hits me like a train. Tony stands in the same corner, like an executioner. His gun is finally pointing down. I crawl to Sophie, who has collapsed next to me. Sophie. Her shoulders tremble. She's not visibly hurt, but she's in shock. Like a supernatural entity, Tony sweeps past me and grabs Sophie's hand, pulling her away from me.
Stand up,
he says. I groan. He repeats it, and I realize he's waiting for me too. I can't process the pain, so I struggle, trying to focus my eyes on anything that will ground me. Behind the desk, Matthias appears. He shakes his head. Blood seeps out from underneath. Without seeing anything else, I know. Penelope is dead. But how? Was it Sophie's panic when I touched her in the dark? Was it Tony seizing an opportunity? Or had Penelope done it to herself to avoid capture? My plan with the plunge in darkness was meant to give me an edge over my opponents. It didn't work out. Does it matter who ended her life? I crawl around the puddle to see what has happened to my wife. What I see is an unrecognizable mess. Her hair clumps on one side of the red pond that keeps filling with her blood. I want to believe her death was instant, that she didn't have time to think of all the people who left her to die in the office of a sex club. I rest my back on the wall, my head spinning from pain and misplaced guilt. Matthias pulls at my good arm.
You're bleeding on the carpet. We need to run.
Then a strong odor hits my nostrils and a small flame dances in the far edge of the room. Tony ushers us all out. We stagger down the corridor, the smell of smoke following us like a phantom. Heat adds to the agony of my wound, and I want to rip my clothes off and lie in an icy bath. I imagine it, and my body relaxes, my knees like jelly underneath me. The pain in my ringing ears logically tell me I should be frightened. A passing thought suggests that I'm dying. Blood loss, maybe. But I close my eyes, knowing full well I will open them again. I have to tell Sophie about the future that will make us both happy. Chapter 39. The next time I open my eyes, I feel a faint sting on my cheek. Matthias is kneeling next to me. He's slapping me. His lips are moving fast, no doubt giving me instructions. But my brain refuses to translate his mouth movements to words. He tries to lift me, so I flex my abs to help him out. Pain explodes in my ribs, then my arm smolders next to my body again. He drags me out of the staff corridor into the dungeon floor. Chaos has erupted around us. People are fleeing the party like their lives depend on it. And they probably do. Sprinklers drench us on the way out as we blend with the crowd. The fire hasn't gone unnoticed. I look around, trying not to vomit as my eyesight blurs. Where is Sophie? I can barely make out anyone around me, just Matthias and his strong grip on my side as he keeps us both moving forward. Then darkness, then red and blue lights and sirens. Then nothing. Muted sounds and blinding light, followed by a dreamless sleep that I'm not sure I will wake from. When I do wake, I'm lying down in a cold hospital bed. My surroundings are quiet, barren. I want only to get back up to look for Sophie. But my body is as if made from lead, so I lie there, trapped in its weight. Matthias is somewhere nearby. I can hear his voice. I drift in and out of consciousness, losing track of time. One time my eyelids flutter open. I see him injecting something in my cannula. The look of it makes my throat fill up with saliva. I'm going to throw up. I say something indistinct. Matthias takes one look at me and hands me a bucket. I dry heave for a few moments, then pass out again. Next time, I wake up to Matthias sleeping at my side, on a chair pressed to my bed. His head on his forearms, his face relaxed unlike when he's awake. I don't feel any pain thanks to him. I owe him my life. My bandaged arm doesn't respond to my will to be lifted, so I turn to the other side, leaving it resting behind me. I fall asleep thinking of Sophie and her copper gold hair the smell of cocoa and orange. When I stir in the night, Matthias is gone. An air of solitude stands still in the room. I remember everything. It settles on my chest like a slab of concrete, pressing me down, flattening me. Penelope is dead. I'm hurt. The moon garden burned. How much of it is left? Sophie ran away with a person from her old life. He's in the shadows with her while I'm trying to be out in the light for once. She is not here. I want to phone her, but I don't find my phone. She promised to tell me if she was leaving. She promised. So where is she? Is she safe? I'm left waiting once more. I hate it and I miss her.
Sophie the Brigand Wraith. I'm at the docks again, sitting atop a red shipping container, less than an hour after the moon garden burned behind us as Tony and I ran. The area is a lot quieter than the last time I was here, and a lot darker. The cold bites into every exposed inch of my skin.
Is he going to be okay?
Tony asks. Yes, he was in surgery and now he's recovering in the ICU, so there's nothing I can help with. What a mess. I pause for a moment, clutching my phone so hard my knuckles turn white. Why did you kill Penelope? I narrow my eyes. It's more than 7 years since I've seen Tony Maionetto. Tony, the only true brigand friend I had made in LA. Chief hadn't allowed me to mingle with the rest of his gang, but Tony was my age, and our teenage selves couldn't be torn apart. Tony, the brigand changeling.
She was never going to stop making your life hell.
His voice shows no remorse. You executed her in cold blood. I shudder. It could be from the icy weather or from the vivid memory of Tony's emotionless stare as he pointed the gun at Penelope and shot. A second before the room plunged into darkness, like his action took us all straight to hell.
I slayed a monster.
He sighs.
Trust me. I did you all a favor. And free of charge, too.
I shake my head. We listen to the water and the cars in the distance. Maybe he's right. Mateo did tell me to kill her. Now Tony has taken this burden on his shoulder. I look at his profile. His soft features are so innocent, so relaxed. He runs a hand through his messy curls, and I catch a glimpse of my friend from so long ago. When did he turn into a cold-hearted killer?
Will you tell me about what happened? All these years?
His eyes meet mine. There's a plea there to not judge him for his decision, to change the subject so we can be on the same side again. The roof of the shipping container is freezing against my naked thighs. A shiver starts in my torso as I recount all that's happened to Melanie and me in the hands of Penelope and Valerie, in Lavender. Then I go further in time and tell him about Frenzy Eats and the simple life I led for more than 6 years.
I'm sorry.
Tony says after I'm done.
I had no idea you were so tied up in the Dex business.
It's not the deck. That was Mateo Gray's gang. Damien wants to abandon that identity. I sigh. I don't really want to talk about that. Away from the action, I find my stomach knotted with anxiety. I can finally spend a moment to think about what I want to happen next, but it terrifies me, so I deflect. You've changed.
I'm finally where I want to be.
The brigand changeling raises a hand and smooths my hair. In that moment, we're not brigands at all. Only 2 young adults on a quiet, cold night. The sound of the ocean once again fills the silence. Tony's face reminds me of the fond memories I have of Los Angeles, and the need to reminisce is a sudden stab in my gut. I thought there was no future in LA for me and Melanie, but here is one big, smiling proof that maybe I was wrong. I study his features and notice how defined his narrow shoulders are, how the curve of his jaw has changed, how there's fluff on his cheeks. He's got what he wanted. Despite what he did to Penelope, I'm happy for him. I remember Antonia, with luscious golden curls and soft pink skin, running with me, laughing, but sometimes falling quiet for days on end, hating herself. Now I know that girl never really existed. Antonio was there all along. I'm sad I left before having a chance to support him on his journey. So you're still Tony, I say as we both lean back and stare into the starless sky.
Antonio Maionetto.
He says his name like it's a foreign word, with an Italian accent and his fingers together in an upward pinch. I'm glad. Chief supported you?
Yes, but you were missed. He still has your red handkerchief, though it's more pink now, with stained edges. He doesn't know how to do laundry properly.
Tony chuckles. A warm feeling spreads across my insides like honey. I miss Chief. I want to talk to him. But just as I struggle to find the right words with Tony, I know I will be awkward around my mentor too.
Do you want his number?
It's as if Tony can read my mind. No. Yes. Maybe. It's been so long. I scratch the back of my head, feeling like I'm 14 again. I will let you know later. How did you get under Penelope's skin so well? Do you really think she wanted to marry you?
It's what I do in LA too. Seduce people. Women. Men. Everyone in between. I can be a girl if I have to. A perfect chameleon. With a bit of inside information, I can be the perfect match for anyone.
His voice is quiet, as if he's expecting me to judge him. You're good at your job. You seduced me too. Count me your first official victim. He chuckles.
Really? I was so confused back then. Hated myself. Hated how I looked. I never saw you that way, I suppose.
The silence comes again, sitting in the space between our near-frozen bodies. So, Penelope, it seems she got under your skin, too.
She was both smart and rash. Thought the world owed her. Narcissists are the easiest to seduce, initially. Once their obsession is apparent, they become dangerous. But the sad part is that Penelope was desperate for love. Deep down, I'm sure she was painfully lonely.
You pity her.
A little bit. I think she lost her way and didn't know how to come back to being normal. I bet she had crappy parents. Not that it's an excuse. Look how well I turned out.
He laughs, a self-depreciating sound that tugs at my heartstrings. I still can't believe that Chief sent you, I say before the conversation dies down again. And without backup too, I assume. What if someone ruined your handsome face?
I came for you.
Tony whispers.
I will always come for you. We're family.
We are family, I repeat. The Chief's motto and the first edict of the LA Brigands. How did you convince him?
It wasn't easy. He wanted to send one of his goons, just as a normal recruit. He wasn't buying Mateo's whole seduction idea. But I told Chief subterfuge yields safer results, no bloodshed, and a smaller chance of war.
And yet you cut Chiara. My words are small because I don't want him to raise his barriers again. I just want to understand how his brain works.
I did what I had to do to maintain my identity. Alan Shane cut Chiara, not me, and I'm sure she will recover.
It must be so easy for you to go back and forth like that.
It's the only reason I can be the Brigand Changeling. I'm a spy, and you're a thief. Let's not pretend we're saints.
I know he is right. I turn back to the sky as if the moonless night will give me a solution to my dilemma. Am I ready for a normal life? Can I leave my past? What if I turn evil like Penelope? Do I want to be surrounded by killers? By brigands of all sorts? Tony's world seems to have a cruel edge I don't remember from my time in LA. Damien's dream is like a warm embrace in my mind. But like all embraces, I won't want to stay in it forever. Some sort of middle ground would be perfect.
Do you want to come back with me?
Tony asks. It turns out I only needed one question for the answer to materialize in my head. I huff a little laugh. Thanks, but no. My life is here now. I want to stay. There's no shadow of doubt in my tone of voice. Tony is an ally and my first crush. But when I look at him now, I only feel the bittersweet warmth of a past long gone. My body is frozen, the temperature of night Chicago too low for the see-through fabric of my dress. Yet when I take in a deep breath, I smell spring. At the tip of my tongue, there's the taste of something exciting.
Chapter 40. Something wakes me. I'm lying on my back, cold all over, my aching body trembling as the effect of the painkillers wears off. I squeeze my eyes, unexpected tears welling inside. They spill down my cheeks. I wipe them with the back of my good hand and look inside for the feeling that has made me cry. It's not anger, and it's not physical pain. I don't think it's grief. Is it because I miss Sophie? Maybe, but it's not the entire reason. Is it happiness? No, not really. I hear a sigh at my side. I turn to my back, trying hard not to let the pain dizzy me. Sophie lies next to me in the small bed, her body freezing against mine. She must have come in not too long ago. I try to embrace her, but my bandaged arm is too painful to move. I speak instead. You came back.
Of course I did.
My mouth is dry, my throat closing up as I utter the question that has been plaguing my dreams since the party. Is this a goodbye? She places her cold small hand on my cheek and runs a thumb under my eye, wiping my tears away.
No, it's far from a goodbye. I imagined countless possibilities for my life from this point on. There was one thing that never changed. I want you next to me. I want Hannah and Melanie, Matthias and Tanya, even your mysterious friends behind Luna. All else, well, we'll figure it out. Compromise, as you said.
I thought about it a lot too. And you don't have to go back to your day job and living a mundane life. You don't have to embrace Lavender. Behind your name now there is Mateo Grey's power. If you want, you can be his successor. I won't stop you and I won't judge you. I will support you, always. But I will also build my life the way I want it. Neither of us should settle. Why settle when we can have it all? My words come out slow at first, then gain momentum, excitement and reverence moving my tongue. Sophie props herself on one elbow, her eyes connected to mine through a tether of hope. She wants this. I can feel it. But she's afraid.
What if no one else wants to be part of our future?
She whispers. People are naturally drawn to you. Think of what you pulled off here and how much love and respect Tony has for you. You can't control anyone, but you should give them a chance to follow you. Don't let fear dismiss the connections you've made and those yet to form. You'll do great. I believe in you. She hesitates.
I think my heart will explode out of my chest. You make me so happy, so safe, like I can do anything.
Come here, I tell her. She shuffles closer. You've helped me trust again. You saved me and stood by me. You chose me, and you helped me remember what it is to be a good leader. Sometimes the best one can do is let go and pass the reins. I'm so excited to see what kind of future we will craft together. Whatever it is, I know it will be great.
I love you.
She whispers so quietly I'm sure I imagined it. She's buried her face in my chest. What was that? A wide grin appears on my tear-streaked face.
I love you.
She says a lot louder, lifting her face. Even in the darkness, I can see the red painting her cheeks. I love you too. I move my injured arm with a grunt, pushing through the pain so I can embrace her with my whole body. So much. I fall back asleep, Sophie and I entangled, sharing warmth, memories, acceptance, and now, a future. The pain can't keep me awake. In my dream, I remember our first meeting, and thank gods I don't believe in that her curiosity made her lockpick that solid freezer door. With that twist of fate, she cracked my life open and set me free. The Phantom and the Wraith. Two ghost-like identities and one human connection.
Sophie the Brigand Wraith. 2 weeks later. For the first time this year, the chill in the air is gone. It's replaced by a warm sun and a soft, fresh breeze. A perfect day to be outside. I've just bought coffees for everyone, and when I turn the corner to where the former Lavender Club was, I can't stop myself from smiling. Melanie and Thomas are painting the outside walls of the building. The former gray color is being drowned in a classy maroon to go with the new pastel red door. Above it is the neon sign that Matthias is currently installing under Damien's watchful gaze. His arm is still in a sling, so he orders everyone around with such pleasure I almost forget the decisions we made after the Penelope issue concluded. This territory, everything that the deck had conquered before and the jesters had stolen, is now mine. Jerry Jericho is handling the legal process of transferring all that Penelope owned to me. My building is mine too, and I let Curtis keep the moon garden, provided that he runs all decisions by me and Damien. I went from having a tiny bedroom apartment to owning more property than I can fill with people. It's insane. Tanya comes to help me with the drinks.
Thank God.
She shakes her head.
They've been bickering about the sign placement since you left.
Her face has lost its sallow undertone, and her eyes are bright with amusement. I love this version of her, the worry of a few weeks ago so far away from the way she holds herself. Tanya was the first one to pledge herself to me as the new leader. The place we're turning the former Lavender into will be the safe haven for workers that was always on Damien's mind. She's been tirelessly redecorating the interior with him and the other girls who used to work here. Some chose never to return, of course, the trauma too difficult to face. Others chose to take their revenge on the old walls, tearing wallpaper, breaking shelves, and destroying beds full of nasty memories. I was afraid that Damien's heart would shatter to see his life's work trashed. I shouldn't have been. He was the first to wield the hammer. This will be a place where the Jester's ghosts will haunt us no longer. I call the kids and hand them each a coffee. Matthias comes down from the ladder, red-faced.
It's completely straight. It's not my problem you have uneven eyes.
He stomps toward me and grabs a drink without waiting for Damien's response. Matthias was also happy for me to take Damien's spot. Now that he's entangled with Hanako and knows Melanie well, it's like he's always been a part of my life. A reassuring presence. With the amount of times he has stitched up Damien and helped all of us with health issues, I feel invincible. Protected. Only Luna didn't take to the change. Diana and the others don't know me too well, and while most of them agree that my credentials are perfect for the job, some argue that the Penelope issue could be repeated. I understand their fear. But I have to meet them and show them I'm nothing like her. It will take a bit of time. I hand Damien his cappuccino and look at the sign with him. It looks straight to me. There is no name for us all yet. But it's not going to be the Deck or Lavender or the Chicago Brigands. It must be something new. A perfect name will capture our journey so far and the future we crave. Not a gang shrouded in darkness and illegal activity, but neither an honest firm, constrained by society's harsh standards. Something in the middle. My arm snakes around Damien's lower back. He's warm and smells familiar. It's comforting, like opening a new book, knowing it will have that amazing scent. I hear shoes slapping on the sidewalk. A boy is running toward us. He can't be more than 12. Thomas's friend? No, he runs past him, headed straight for us. He hands Damien a note, salutes, and dashes back.
See you tomorrow,
he yells, the words fading as he gets farther away. Before I can ask Damien who that was, he gives me the note.
One for you, leader.
I frown as I read, "Congratulations on the victory. Time to settle the bill. There's a perfect job for you. My Page of Cups will collect you tomorrow afternoon." A job? From the Arcana? I look at Damien for answers. He isn't my part-time consultant for nothing.
Seems so.
He kisses my forehead.
And an opportunity to introduce yourself.
I sigh. So it begins. Matthias goes inside the club to turn on the sign. It's bright outside, but we manage to see it blink to life in neon red. The color of blood and danger, but also passion, power, and love. We don't have a name for our gang yet, but at least we settled on a name for the new club. Love and This was the final part of the Brigand Children, Book 2 of the Club Lavender Duet by Lainey Delaroque. Author's note: thank you for listening to the end of this book. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a challenge to write this sequel in a way that both captured the tone of the previous book and also introduced Damien's unique perspective. I really hope you had fun listening and that the characters tugged at your heartstrings at least once. If you want more and haven't yet subscribed to my newsletter, now's the perfect time. The link is in the description and the comments. And as a bonus, you will get to access all the unabridged versions of the spicy chapters from this book. This is not the last you're hearing about Sophie and Damien. For their first Valentine's Day, they go to Rome and meet the actual mafia. Once that story is available, you will see it in the corner of this video and the description box. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss it. Thanks again for listening to this story. Let me know what you thought in the comments below and like the video to appease the algorithm gods. Lots of love from me and see you soon.